Welcome to Falcons of Fortune, an Achtung Cthulhu actual play campaign. My name is Meric, my pronouns are he, him, and I will be the game master for this campaign. We're trying to do something a little bit different with this one. Each episode is going to be about 20 to 30 minutes long, ideally so that you can watch it in one sitting. And if you're not familiar with Achtung Cthulhu or the 2D20 system by Modiphius Entertainment, we have added rules explanations and descriptions and so on so that you can follow along and learn as you're watching the game play out. So, what is Achtung Cthulhu? Achtung Cthulhu is a 2D20 pulp action role-playing game published by Modiphius Entertainment that uses Lovecraftian mythology, mythos, stuff, evil magic and so on and whatnot, horror, but sets it during World War II. The Serpent The Sands is the latest mega campaign put together by Modiphius Entertainment for Achtung Cthulhu. On top of it being a campaign with 10 entire full missions that you can run through, The Serpent in the Sands also opens up the North African theater as a setting for your games. So you get additional character options, new gear, new antagonists, and all sorts of stuff to put your game together. Our players for this campaign are Jen Black-Moir, Patrick McGean, Nicole Ogle, and Justin McDonald. Welcome to Falcons of Fortune. The Rose of the Desert is a well-known tea shop in the busy port district of Alexandria. People meet here to talk and gossip, do business, or simply relax and enjoy its excellent selection of teas and refreshments. Along a back street, you're able to mark the shop by its distinctive sign, a white stylized bloom amidst the dunes. Inside the tea shop, the ceilings are low and curved, and the walls are covered in Islamic tilework. A low hum of conversation fills the air, and apart from the odd curious glance, your arrival is hardly noticed amid the lively conversation.
Conversation? Is it
Amid
full
the
of
lively
cons?
conversation. So, whoever's going in first, please describe your character.
I'll probably go in first, since I'm the one who's the contact for why we're here.
Makes sense.
Professor Gage Whittaker. He's a professor now.
Professor.
He's a professor. He wears tiny glasses. Yeah.
Is he?
Look at my character sheet. It says professor.
Okay.
Anyone can just call themselves professor.
He's a professor of occult studies, so it's the really barely a professor. Nobody goes to his classes. It is just usually him in an office, and they're I guess give him funding, $50.
With the one nerd student who takes all of your classes, and you're Benjamin.
The classes are just in the office. It's just us talking about evil monsters. But he is thin, with a well-trimmed beard, several facial scars, and a shock of white hair through his unkempt, regular black hair. He is in the every movie set in 1940s. He is the nerd in the brown suit, the professory looking guy. That's him. He's got a little briefcase, and is just real unsure of everything that's happening right now. And it's also so hot.
It's very hot. So Gage comes in first, looking around, looking a little bit nervous and clutching a briefcase.
Not clutching, but he's keeping it at his side. Doesn't leave his side usually.
Behind Gage comes in Dr. Matilda Fairweather.
I'm a real professor.
No, Matilda's not a real doctor. I actually can't remember what my last name was. I had to make it up on the spot.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't even know what I just said right there. Was it
You said Fairweather.
Fairweather? Cool. Great last name. And And she hasn't been to this specific establishment before, but she is just gonna like take a peek in for a sec, do a quick scan, see if she knows anyone. Coast looks clear. Comes on in with like a lot of gusto. And she has short blonde bob hair with like finger waves, very pretty. And she's wearing like a vest with a tie, and then like pants with like the hips, right?
Charles Onions Bowley steps in, and he's glistening. He's clean shaven. He's just had his first shower in weeks. He's in fresh new uniform that's been issued to him now that he's returned from the field. Where have I been? Well, that's classified. But I hear the Moroccan coast is nice this time of year. And he's in probably the best mood he's been in quite some time, because he's reconnecting with Section M. And he enters, scans the room, pans, and marks Gage and Matilda quite easily as they stand out. They're very pale compared to the rest of the clientele. Onions is tanned. He's he makes his way over to Gage and Matilda, gives them a nod and says, "Professor, Doctor, so nice to be in such esteemed company."
How common is it for people to be walking around armed here?
I would say that it is common enough. You're not going to be arrested or anything. You might get some nervous looks, but it's not illegal.
Okay. So Deirdre is your average height woman. She's definitely more freckled than tanned. Strawberry blonde hair. She's dressed in like your standard kind of combat boots and pants. Her shirt is normally she normally wears a scarf. But because of the heat, she's actually taken the scarf off, unbuttoned the first button of her shirt to reveal she's actually got this like solid gold torque around her neck. And she usually keeps under wraps, but with how hot it is, it's showing. She is carrying a very out of place looking weapon. She's got a long sword on her hip. And definitely carries a backpack with her, just in case.
Gotta be so sweaty under that.
So sweaty.
That gold torque. How thick is it?
Like, probably a solid inch thick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There are tables throughout the main room with 5 booths lining the left-hand side of the wall. An exit to the kitchen in the back, and stairs on the right that lead up to a gallery along the back wall with more tables and windows that are open into the night air. There's a low fog of smoke that hangs over the room from hookahs and water pipes. And although most of the customers are Arabic, there is like a cosmopolitan air to the place. Many people of different nationalities, drinking tea, having snacks, and smoking tobacco. In the middle booth, along the left-hand wall, is a woman that Gage recognizes. Aisha Aziz is a probably mid to late 30s Egyptian woman. She's got dark hair and very sharp, observant eyes. She takes you in and waves in a friendly but a little bit reserved manner towards Gage, and beckons the 4 of you over.
As everyone's walking over, Gage whispers, "Here we go again."
What does that mean?
What?
Gage?
Gage is pretty concerned that he would be called specifically here with this ragtag group of adventurers. What could possibly be on her mind?
As you approach the table, she says, "Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Please sit. It's good to see you, Gage. Thank you for meeting with me this evening. Please, make yourselves comfortable. Abdul, and she waves over a man in the tea shop. Older, local man, light clothing, little heavy set, and he comes over with a big smile. He says, "Guests, yes, tea, mint, chamomile, hibiscus, cinnamon, the sweets, particularly fine. What can I get for you?"
Black tea, if you have it.
Yes, of course.
Hibiscus would be aces.
Very good.
Cinnamon, my good chap.
Mm-hmm.
Just a water.
Very good. And he nods to Aisha. They're obviously friends. And he sort of bustles off. And Aisha says, "And how are you all enjoying the city? Are you new to Alexandria?"
Yeah, first time. It's busy, hot, and all the moisture is coming from me instead of the guy, which is weird.
Yes, yes. It is a lot to get used to.
It's a grand city with so much to see, steeped in history. I can just feel it in my bones. So much to take back to England.
Yes, of course.
But like, don't.
That's it. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Matilda, you and your sticky fingers.
I only sell to private collectors. Don't worry.
Aisha seems a little nervous, a little reserved. You notice that as she's speaking with you, she's smiling, but she's definitely got her eye around the establishment. Anytime somebody like speaks loudly, she kind of watches them for a second and then comes back to the conversation, just trying to trade small talk.
Is there a sense motive?
Yeah, you could make like an insight observation.
Hey, I'm good at that.
First roll. We've got zero
Would
momentum in the
instincts
pool.
count as a focus?
8 threat. Instincts. Yeah, I'd say that would apply.
Beautiful. It is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So for here, I didn't set a difficulty. There was a difficulty. It's difficulty 1. So you get 1 momentum in the pool. And she seems to be sort of checking off people in the establishment, like looking at someone and saying, is that person a threat? Probably not. On to the next one.
So she's being chased.
Nice. Yeah, Onions is feeling shifty-eyed given the energy in the room. Can he pan around and see if there's anybody who stands out or that they may recognize as a threat or something like that?
Sure. Go ahead and make also an insight observation.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty for this would be 2. So let's just talk scene truths right now. We're in a crowded cosmopolitan cafe, which is increasing the difficulty to 2.
Okay.
And then you've got Abdul Rahman giving his friendly service, which is a second truth. And another truth, which is currently hidden.
Ooh. Okay.
There's something there.
Ghosts.
All right.
Ghosts. It is haunted.
It's probably ghosts.
So is this insight observation?
Yeah, difficulty 2. We have 2 momentum in the pool. No, sorry, 1 momentum in the pool.
Well, Justin's rolling that, I'm just going to say that Matilda has her feet up on the table. And
Perfect. So
smoking a
I
water
got
pipe. Very happy.
very nice. So yeah, I got an 8 and a 7. So I'm below target. I can spend a momentum so that I'm detail oriented. When obtaining info in any way, you may spend 1 momentum to learn a fact that would not normally be noticed by a regular character.
Okay.
So if everyone's okay, I'd like to do that.
Great.
All right. So yeah, you succeed. We spend the 1 momentum out of the pool. For the success, kind of looking around, it doesn't appear that there is anyone directly watching you at this moment. Nobody who seems threatening. This all appears to be kind of like maybe a bit of paranoia on her side. That could absolutely be well-founded, but you don't see any immediate threats. And then the bit of detail that somebody else wouldn't see, did you have anything in mind, like a question that I could answer, or?
Well, something that'd be helpful, obviously. I don't know if there's something that I can learn about Madame Aziz, or perhaps some background between her and Abdul.
Sure. You know what you could see? Maybe one time when she sort of reaches across the table, you notice a large scar on her arm underneath the sleeve, mostly covered, and you can see that it is definitely like a fighter's or warrior's scar. Like she looks as if she can really handle herself in combat. Like she's got a history of probably actions in some sort of confrontation.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, Onions will just kind of, I guess, raise an eyebrow then in newfound admiration and continue to wait for something to happen.
And so the proprietor, Abdul Rahman, he brings your tea. It's all quite nice, very good flavors. And Aisha continues to kind of watch the crowd and says, well, I do apologize for this cloak and dagger business, but I needed to be sure. I bring news of rather great import and something infinitely more dangerous than the battles which now rage across the sands.
I choke on my water pipe a bit.
I don't truly know where to begin. It is an ancient confrontation between... And she pauses, and she looks a little stunned. She licks her lips.
Oh no! Oh!
And she kicks backwards, and the table rocks, and she falls to the ground.
Who has medicine? I don't have medicine.
Oh dear. I have a singular point in medicine, but I'm gonna guess that she's been poisoned, so induce vomiting?
You can absolutely jump down and try and deal with this.
Matilda jumps out of her chair and yells, "Help her!"
And the people around are like standing up from their chairs and looking around and like you can hear them speaking in Arabic and in English and saying like, "What is happening? Is she all right?" So you can jump down and make a reason medicine test, difficulty 1.
Sure. Yeah, Deirdre's just gonna like grab her and shove her fingers down her throat, I guess.
This'll help.
Alright,
He's
Mike.
Difficulty 1.
hardcore. Let me just reach in and grab that poison note.
That's a natural 20.
Oh!
I got so excited for a second.
She's finished, darling. She's finished.
Yeah, she's quite dead. I just kill her faster.
Yeah.
Just punch her in the larynx.
So you reach towards her, and you pause just before like shoving your fingers down her throat, because you can see on her neck these black veins starting to like spread outward up her cheek and down underneath her shirt. And for the complication, do you want a problem with some of the patrons in here, or would you like to buy it off with threat and put my threat to 10?
I know what I'd do.
Yeah, we all do.
I think we can handle a complication here.
Okay. And so, as you're sort of doing this, you see sticking out of her neck a small, almost imperceptible dart. And you're reaching down, and someone grabs you from behind and like lifts you up, and you can see a patron at another table has said, is grabbing you and pulling you away and saying, "What are you doing? Leave her alone! Give her air!" And somebody else stands and says, "What have you done to her?"
Oh dear. I'm gonna go with onions. Onions, get the dart. There's a dart. Get the dart.
Yeah, I'd like to pluck that dart.
Is it possible to take a quick look around?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a reason plus observation test for Gage.
Looking for dart shooters. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so the difficulty for that was 0. So you actually gain 2 momentum. We're going to hold that for a second. We're going to go to Onions as he reaches down to grab the dart. And Aisha, she like spasms and kicks one of the chairs nearby. And then as you're reaching down for the dart, she grabs your arm, and through gritted teeth, she gets out a couple of words. "The time of the Thuban is nigh. Seek the ziggurat beyond the oasis of the veiled moon. Find Private Bruce Taylor. Only he can show you the way.
I'll
The
see it
tooth.
done.
The tooth have claimed me at last." And she dies.
What? No.
Whoa, she died fast. There must be assassins or something. Sorry, that was beyond the oasis of...
The veiled moon.
Just trying to find Sergeant.
Private Bruce Taylor. Only he can show you the way.
Sounds like an American. This is gonna be a mess.
And so a chair gets kicked. Gage is scanning the tea shop. There's just pure chaos as people are looking and trying to figure out what it is, what's going on. And you see on the upper gallery 2 masked faces peering through the windows. And then they turn and flee across the rooftops into the night.
What
Do
kind of
we
mask?
Shoot at them?
They are... You wouldn't be able to shoot at them right now because they're in an upper gallery. There's a whole bunch of people. They were looking through a window.
Legit.
The masks, they are in... Not black sun masks, in case you were thinking that. Their faces are covered in sort of like a black scarf that leaves just a little bit of eyes, and they're swathed head to toe in sort of loose black clothing.
Ooh. Spookums.
Hello. That's the end of episode 1. Hope you're enjoying Falcons of Fortune. Thank you so much for watching. And episodes 2 and 3 are out right now. You can jump right in if you want. If Achtung Cthulhu looks like the sort of game that you might be interested in, check out the description of the videos. We've got links there for free quick starts, short adventures, and a link directly to the Serpent in the Sands if you want to try out the campaign that we are running right now. And I also just want to say thank you so much to Modiphius Entertainment for making this possible, giving us early access to the game so that we could play it, and supporting all the way through. Thank you so much to the players for just embodying these incredibly fun characters. Thank you to our graphic designers and artists who have put an incredible amount of work into this project. And thank you again for just watching and enjoying. Hope you like it and that you come back for more. Have a good one.